Okay, we give a few minutes to reflect on the movie, and then we open the floor for questions, comments. So please, Lola, you can. Who wants to start? Okay, please.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate this movie. And my name is Dewi. I'm from Bangkok. I'm Indonesian, based in Bangkok. So I really like this movie, and it's remind me. I've been collecting the story of the exile since 2002, and some of the people there, I met them in person. But so yes, but one thing I didn't see any women interview. Yeah, the last one, the women, the child of Pak Min. So because it's also the same thing, you know. For example, one of the women that I'm from Sweden, Stockholm, she was also exiled from Beijing. At that time, she came for in Peking in China, but then they couldn't go back, and then moved to Sweden. And actually, she only the cook, but because she's part of that communist party, so she cannot cook. And then when she was old, she went to Indonesia. She wanted to live in Indonesia, and I think she bought the house. But then, because she's foreigner, so I have to extend, have the special permit. But then there is expired, so she was deported from Indonesia. So and then she already dementia, so now she lives in Sweden. So something like that. So many of people, exiled, male or female, they cannot go back to Indonesia, stay in Indonesia even though they want to. So yeah, that's one thing I think that missing is about the story of women. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, when I did research 2013, I started research 2013, and I had more or less maybe 5 until 7 women exiles. But at the time when we have the shooting on 2015, they don't want to be in the film because they still scared because of their family in Indonesia, because of their husband, because of their kids, and they don't want to disturb all the family in Indonesia. So they still scared until now. So it's only 10 subjects that they want to in the film, in this movie, because at the first time I introduced to make this documentary, I want all the subjects will be filmed from their wake up until back again in the bed. So they're working, and then they're at home, they're cooking, so everything, and a lot of activities in their house, their home. Yeah, but some of the exiles, they don't want to be in this film because of they're still scared until now. Not only women, but maybe the rest of the exiles that I had researched, maybe more than 30. So that's only 10 they want to be in this film.
Yes, please. In the back, please. In the back.
Good evening. The film was very impressive. So it's really captured like the feelings and then the experience of those in exile, and that's really prompted me to think and wonder like what inspired or what made you interested to produce this film and tell the stories of the exiles.
Thank you.
Yes, one more question. Yes.
Hi, it's really privileged to be able to see Eksil because I've been following since it was first launched in Indonesia, but it was really hard, I think, after the few screenings, and I know some, I think from Amnesty Indonesia is still doing rounds of tour, so I'm really privileged to be able to see this here. I wasn't expecting to cry, actually. I knew already the theme, but it was, still really hard to kind of swallow that down, but I'm really interested moving forward. I think one of the points in the movie was about collective amnesia, which at least for myself, from observation of how things are unraveling in Indonesia, it is still a very much apparent and visible threat of young generations. You keep emphasizing that for generations that was born after 65, now moreover after 98, what is the plan, maybe for you from the team or anyone that you're working with the organization in Indonesia to make this either more accessible or maybe in other form of, I don't know, initiative or further maybe filmmaking to kind of prevent collective amnesia from happening and making this, essentially maybe not available in every school, but somehow reaching the younger generation, because it's a real threat that we need to kind of keep the baton going. But for me now, it's really hard to see that happening, at least in the short term, for a lot of younger generation in Indonesia. Thank you.
Because the young generation, they don't know anything about this story because they didn't get any from their school. So in my generation, every year since elementary school and high school, the government's force brainwash us with the films. The title is Penumpasan Pengkhianatan J30 SPKI. So it's created by government, and until now we didn't know it is true or not. But the government forced us to trust the story. But at that time, I was wondering because I can't ask any question, even to my teacher. It's like taboo, or like all of my friends told me that don't say about that, talk about that. It is like you're in jail. If the government hear that you say about PKI or communist or something like that, you'll be in jail. But it just makes me curious until when I was at the university, I tried to learn many things from many elements. I asked my friend who been activist in human rights, and then with the friend who's the family get in touch with the PKI, or it was not easy. But I still a bit responsibility because I know a little bit about this, and I think I need to share if I have my information, many information about this kind of story, and I work in the film industry, so I have responsibility to share with the film. So I'm very happy because we work together with Amnesty International Indonesia to share this film to the high school, to the university, and maybe the community, or anything else.
Yes, and then what can be done so that young people know more about this? That because it's still, like she said, it's still amnesia. People don't want to know about, or they don't know about.
It's kind of a big surprise because when this movie launched in Indonesia, so many young people come to the cinema, and they really care about this, and they share about their experience. Like the first time ever documentary in Indonesia. We got 2 months in the cinema and got a 65,000 audience. It's first time ever, and then 70% of them as young people. So it's good because it's our target.
Okay, yes, please, Professor Tanet.
Thank you. My name is Tanet. I am historian teaching on Thai and American history in Thammasat University. I already retired. Okay. And first I have to say thank you, and very, very impressed with the film Eksil, because from the beginning, when I saw the advertisement, I want to see how the story of stranded, stateless Indonesians after 65, because I never heard of this story from. So it would be surprising to hear about this story. But I didn't expect much, and I think it's a documentary, so maybe it's like a short news interview, and then give some reflection of who and who, how you came here, and then we're gonna go to the end, not much we're gonna tell about that story, But to my surprise, when I'm watching from the beginning, gathering the document, I have to say this is a real movie. It's not documentary, a real live movie, and it touched in almost every aspect of the life, individual, and the whole group of that, and then bring back to the generation of 65, and then even link it, trace it back to the PKI, That was the eye-opening, I never seen the video, the clips, the real film of activities of the PKI, in the Larry, more than 100,000 people in the field or in the open ground, You can see the real force of the PKI, and they have to compliment that the movie is very courageous, that you show speak up provided the PKI is not the fault, is not the evil in this, the whole 65 coup and murder of the generals. But it told that PKI was a real nationalist party, it's a people's party, well, because of communism that scared of everyone in Asia, Even nowadays, even in Thailand, we couldn't speak much about communism, So I have to say this is the first movie, not even on Indonesian, but it telling about the whole region of the Communist Party in Southeast Asia and facing similar, destinies and treatment, and they end up with not a very good understanding of really what happened. So so many things I wanted to speak, but I won't take up much time. I really, because I have some similar experience with the exile, because in the student activities in Thailand, 1976 coup d'etat by the army, they also massacred the Thammasat students, and many of them left the city to join the Communist Party of Thailand, But the story of Thai communists and Indonesian communists departed from here, I think we didn't have a very bad, it's bad, in the 70s, But by 80s, Thai party become more, kind of, try to bring back the country, but instead of running down to the end, get rid of massacre of the left or the communists, but they decide to amnesty and get the students back home, So I spent a few years, in the jungle and then in America, all together probably 5 years, and then gradually I returned home, in the mid-80s, late 80s. But looking from your exile movie, it's totally different. Those stateless, even after Suharto gone, they still couldn't come back, because the threat still continue, coming after them. And until, they have to decide, to leave their, Indonesia, and then stay in another foreign country, But all of them speak the same thing. They're still Indonesians in their mind, spirit, everything. Indonesians, I love it when every morning, they have to open the computer to read the news about Indonesian first. Compass has to come first, not local news then. Okay. So yeah, it's amazing, touching, very, very sad. I'm looking, watching the whole story. I think it's much realer than the real life. So I hope that this movie should open in relations and everyone, in the region or in the world, to see the reality of 65 coup, because I think it's the worst massacre in human history. Okay. Last thing, but the way you're touching, the interview and bring up their life, one by one. So many that I couldn't speak of all of them, but the bring back, like the one exile talk about Pramodaya Anantadu, his book, his life, because if you know about Indonesian history and the story, Pramodaya was the most influential writer of the movement, So yeah, so he will have the good memory of Anantadu, in his mind, his life, Okay. And then the last thing is that when Park last month, Hagi, start talking, I start wondering, is he related to the Secretary General of the PKI? But from the first interview, you don't see any relation, until finally over the end, he started talking to himself, that he related to IDID and he was chosen by the PKI to be student here, So everything was more clearer in the end, So yeah, I think the whole movie is very fulfilling the history of 75, 65, and many mysteries about the whole thing, So I hope that if you have chance to do more, I think you're gonna make Indonesian history, become, much more, influential and meaningful. Thank you for your work. Okay.
Thank you so much. And yeah, through this movie, I want to follow all the audience, like follow my journey to looking for the answer that we didn't know the answer before, to visit all the exiles. And my question is also audience question. So we really want the audience feel the same that we feel when we are meet them personally. Yeah, kind of that.
Yes, I think you reach your goal. I think we can feel with all the stories of, and I understand now even more are deaths of the 10 that you interviewed in the movie. Right? 6 of them are
Passed away.
Yeah,
and when we finishing this film, like we were at the editing room, me and my editor were crying. Every time we work for this movie, every time we open the laptop and we work, we cry. Yeah, maybe until now some of crew, if they are watch this movie, they still cry.
Yes. So unfortunately, it's 8 o'clock. I don't know if it is any last pressing question. Okay. the last question, and I have also a question about the archive. What's happening to the archive, to the fantastic work that has been collected? Where is now? Okay, please.
Yeah, actually that's one of. Oh, I'm Bertie. I'm doing my I'm Indonesian. I'm doing my PhD here in Bangkok at the moment. Actually, that's one of my questions. Because I only got two questions actually. The archive, because the archives are astounding. Like, how did you get that? I saw one of your interview in YouTube. One of them that you got them. Yeah, you wanna buy one from BBC, but it's like too expensive. One that you achieved from Russia, something like that. Yeah. But that's like, I think the film should come with trigger warning because I think I'm 45. I'm 47, so I think you know that some of the footage quite new. Yeah, it's like shook me. Another is I think you know that our president still has link with the Cendana, with the Harto regime. So this is like more like I salute you that you're so brave to make this movie. And now, do you have any further plan to make to reveal more about our history? Thank you.
Honestly, I still say until now for the last question. For the footage, that's why we finished the movie almost 10 years. So 2015 we were shooting, and 2016, 17, 18, 19 until 2024, 6 years we were work for this project. And for the footage is very rare. Yeah, I know, because the price not cheap. It's really expensive, really hard to get. And who says documentary is cheap? The production is very expensive, because all the statement from the subject, we don't want the audience feel bored, because we have to get more footage to make audience stay in the seat to watch this movie until the end. And some of them, if the footage we didn't get it, we get with the animation, the motion. So like Mao Zedong and or the art revolution in China, we can get it. So we create it. So from Perestroika, we bought it in Russia, and then the Netherlands, Belt and Gilwit, and then some of them from the US, from the BACC, from the Metro TV, from Kompas, from many archives, Perpustakaan Nasional, and we have to wait, and then but so many footage we want, but we can't get it because of the price. It's very expensive. We don't have much money for about, and sometimes the song they don't want to give us because one of other reason. So I think for the ending, I have one footage that really we really want to buy, like statement of Sukarno's, like the imperialism is not yet dying, it's only dying. We really want to buy the footage, but it's very expensive. It doesn't make sense because it's very expensive. So we have to change the ending with this ending. So maybe blessing in disguise, because we cannot buy that footage, so we put this ending. It's like a sign, like the symbol is means a lot. Like all the exiles, our life is not too long. We're gonna die soon. So I need to give our story to you, and then I know you will share it to public. So I feel like I have responsibility to make their story, and then to make it good story, and then share it to audience. It's like very meaningful. Yeah. So I feel happy, I feel good because they trust me. They trust me to. Yeah, it's very hard because at the first time they don't want to share it because they think I was an intel, and yeah, the first time I approached them, they don't want to share it because they think I'm intel, I was intel, and then like you're still like you're so young. How do you know about these issues? And then who sent you here? How did you get the money? And who sent you? Who party are you? What organization you had? No, I was just a filmmaker. I really like the human rights issues, social issue. This is the movie that I made, and they don't trust me. And it was very hard. So at that time, I have a friend in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, and I talk about a lot of things about this problem. And he was helped me to get personal approach because he was very close with all the exiles in the Netherlands. So he was make a personal approach, and then Lola was a filmmaker, and then she concerned with the social issue, human rights, and then step by step they will trust me and accept me to make this story with all all story they had.
Okay, so a big applause, and we can continue the discussion outside. There is some small Indonesian food, so please you can continue to talk about this. I think we have also a director from South Korea, another person, so I am sure there can be more discussion about very interesting things while enjoying Indonesian food. There are also some books that are about, that explain the 1965 coup, and there is also a book which is about the People Tribunal, which has been done, so to try to indeed, because as the movie said, still the massacre of more than 1 million people is not being addressed. The rest is being recognized as a human rights abuse, one of the main human rights abuse in the history of Indonesia, but there has been no action about that. So it's very different from the case of Cambodia, where you can see the memorial of the massacre. The one in Indonesia is still totally not addressed and is still very much a taboo to discuss about that. So there is also a book about mass grave. Mass grave is being mentioned about, but there are many mass graves in eastern Indonesia as well as Sumatra and other parts of Indonesia. And again, they have not, no one can go and see what is there because it's extremely sensitive so at the moment mostly people try to collect information because they are not able to do the excavation. So I think this book could serve if you want to understand better about what is happening in Indonesia. So please, again, an applause for Lola.
Thank you so much.
And thank you very much for coming, and please enjoy the food and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.